we are officially live. All right, so what I'm going to do here is play this video. Let me know if y'all can see my screen. Let me see if y'all can see that grizzly bearded man with the whiskers going everywhere. You should be able to see it. If you can't see it, let me know. So what I'm going to do is just play this video. This is the update last week, day 33 of this flip project, and the goal was really to take y'all, really behind the scenes to show you like, hey, what, was it like start to finish to do a flip deal? I know y'all probably seen some other case studies, but that was the goal with this one, is like, all right, let's just go through one of these things together. We did the job start walkthrough that some of you guys attended. And so this is day 33, myself, and you see Brian in the background there helping me out with some things. This is day 33, and what we will do after this video is that we'll dig into the after pictures. So I've got the after pictures. We'll look at some before, some after. I will show you that we'll go over the listing, show you what we listed it at, go through a few comps, and I will also reveal to you whether or not we have offers as of yet, even though we've been on the market less than 24 hours. So here we go. Well, here we are, my friends, doing the final walkthrough of our little flip project. So I'm going to take you guys on a tour. Pause button. First thing. So teaching point. We talked about this. The driveway was not great, but there's not a big ROI on replacing concrete. So we did this one section because it was really bad. It had all these foundation cutouts, and it was horrible, to be quite honest with you. This section is not great. This one's not too bad. So we just pressure washed everything, and we did the minimum effective dose with the guys on a tour. See the curb appeal. Our landscaping is done. Our painting is done. We painted the mailbox posts. They are still going to paint that like a high tint black paint. We've replaced one portion of the driveway, which is just kind of the minimum effective dose. There we go. We did a little bit of work on the roof. We didn't do substantial work on the roof. Mainly what we wanted to do was to avoid any issues with our inspection report whenever the buyers hire a home inspector. But the roof was in good shape, so that was a good thing. See a little bit there. We ended up, if you recall, we painted all of the brick, mainly because of some brick and mortar stuff that needed to be done, which wasn't a big deal, wasn't anything major, but it wasn't a very attractive color, really. And that was really the main area, or the main reason why. So you can see we replaced all the siding here, did some fix. I like to pressure wash fences. I can't remember if I talked about that or not, but I like to pressure wash fences, especially on the street soffit work. Painted, like I said, all the brick, all of our trims painted white. We've done our landscaping, just basic landscaping, clean and functional, clean and green, a few basic bushes here. The windows, I'm sorry, not mirrors, the window trim also was really nasty looking. So we went ahead and we put a high tint black paint that's durable in the sun and whatnot. Just the windows actually look pretty good now. Windows look great. We installed the slate tile at the front porch. We obviously did our new light fixtures, painted our door black. We've got the fancy elevated architectural numbers on the front of the house. We ended up having to replace the garage door. So that has been done. Okay, over here on the side, we installed a new air conditioner. It was just very outdated. We did repairs on the fence. We didn't replace any of the fence. We just did some repairs, adjusted, secured it, replaced some rotten boards. And probably my favorite thing on the exterior, well, a couple of things. One, we went ahead, spent the money on the back porch, 150 square feet or so, and put in an outdoor tile that really just covered up an eyesore. That was the back porch. See if I can get you a good view of this. So this really becomes a selling point now. If you can see that. Sunlight's not cooperating with me too much. You can see that tile. It's really nice. Nice backyard. And if you remember the swing that we had, bada boom, bada bing, we put some, I think that's a gel stain, what they call gel stain, exterior gel stain, or gel, or stain, one of the two, and fix that up. So rather than demoing that, that's really a cool thing. Of course, we replaced our electrical panel, like I mentioned in the beginning, and you can see how these windows now, if you go back to one of the previous videos, you can see the windows, and they were kind of, I don't know if y'all remember the windows, but the windows were horrible. We've touched those up, we filled holes, and we've put this high temp paint on them, and they really look nice. Great. So that's the exterior portion of our video. So let's go into the inside, the interior. We're going to do a quick walkthrough on the interior, and to be followed up with our professional pictures. So let's go on inside here. So step inside, and once again, we've got all the hardwood tile. This is all tile. We get this tile from Floor & Decor. It's about 70 cents a square foot, something like that. But we've we retextured all the walls. We demoed the fireplace, and more important, or we didn't demo the fireplace. We did the fireplace surround in that little front ledge that was there on the floor, really just to give the living room more usable space. We stained the mantle, put in new tile around the fireplace, got rid of that, so we have more, like I said, usable space, and did a high temperature black paint inside. Up here on the beam, nice kind of custom ceiling fan. Gel stain the beam. That's one of those little touches I think that really helps things stand out and pop a little bit more so. So we go into the kitchen here. You want to say hi to Brian? So we did updated light fixtures, basic level 1 granite countertops, stainless steel appliances, vent hood, dishwasher, basic, subway tile backsplash, painted the cabinets, fluorescent light. There you go. Not a whole lot to see on the garage as of yet, but it's very, will be just kind of clean and functional. All this trash is going out tomorrow. We are going to paint this slab with a gray slab, basically concrete paint, just kind of give it a nice clean look and feel. Here from the interior, you may be able to see the back porch. There you go. So what was once an eyesore is now really, we chose to add a little value and do a little bit of improvements and upgrades. So this is the master bedroom. So one mistake we made was not cutting in electrical for a ceiling fan at the start of the job. We screwed up. We're leaving it that way. We are going to put.
Sounds better when I say we screwed up. When I screwed, that was my fault.
Can be negotiated and done with with a full price offer, the good offer. And the reason we're doing that way is, one, we don't want to cut a bunch of sheetrock. It may not even be an issue for potential buyers. Sometimes you just never know. And after an inspection report is done, there may be some things our electrician has to come back for anyways. So we'll just take care of those things at that point in time. All right. So now you see the sink, master bathroom sink, mirror. Could have been a bigger mirror or 2 mirrors there? Probably. We didn't. Don't think it's a big deal. Master bathroom. Carried the tile once again, from the living area in here. We did an upgraded tub. You've got basic tubs, which I'll show you in another bath, which I know you're familiar with. This is an upgraded tub, new toilet, tub surround, basic light fixture, and vent fan. And that is it for our bathroom. So we're going to go back over here to the hall bathroom and hall bedrooms. You know, not a whole lot over here to point out. Just our basic bedrooms, basic ceiling fans, carpet in the bedrooms. This fan, I believe, was existing, so we just left it. It was fine. We reinstalled existing shelves, closet shelves, rods, things like that. And in the bathroom, same tub surround, same design, same toilet. This is a basic tub. And we put, a lot of times we'll do that, we'll put an upgraded tub in the master and just a basic one in the other bedroom. We left the existing vanity light, painted the mirror trim. My granite guy was installed granite here, but was not supposed to do it. We're going to keep the same granite top. That was kind of an error, casualty of war, so to speak. But we left the vanity, put on a new countertop, and so that's a wrap. So what we're going to do now is move into, I'm going to be sharing in future a couple of other videos, before and after pictures kind of side by side.
All right. So any questions? Any questions, any thoughts, any feedback, anything whatsoever?
Just wondering how you, did y'all cement that fence post? Is that how y'all got that back up?
Yeah, so what they do is they dig out, you know, around the post a little bit and brace it, put cement in it, leave it for a few days, and really that's it.
Okay.
So I'm gonna share my screen side by side here. I don't think we took, you know, like before pictures, but you're gonna see, expand this video size. I'll do my best to do like before and after here. If I have a better view. Well, I mean, that's it. Y'all remember it. You know, one of my big goals was to create a little bit of curb appeal because it didn't really have a whole lot. And I would argue and that it still doesn't have a whole lot. It's kind of a plain Jane house, you know, but we just did the basics. There's the interior video popping up. I don't want to show right now. But I think that we did what we need to do. We eliminated eyesores. What were the eyesores? The front porch, you know, this driveway with the concrete holes, and so to speak. And to me, the brick was kind of ugly. So we did that. We very basic landscaping. You never see us do much more than that. But the painting, you know, the painting's good. The roof is good. And it's just a nice, kind of clean and functional home. I'm going to hop to the backyard pictures. I was kind of disappointed with my photographer because they didn't get a picture of the back patio up close, which I don't know why they wouldn't do that because it was a really nice thing that we did. But we did end up, did they miss a spot there? Look, they may have missed the spot on the stain. But we did stain that the swing, and that's it. That's the curb appeal. Now we did replace, if y'all remember, we replaced all of the siding. It was not very expensive. I can pull up that invoice if you want. We did demo that thing. Y'all remember talking about that when we were out there, Lou? You remember that? You know, to me, this would have been fine if we kept it, but it had some structural issues with the fascia board and all that, and the framing it was holding on to. So we just opened it up and kept that. There's the swing before versus now. And really that's it. Replace the panel. Now this meter, you see that can is, it's all rusted out. It's maybe hard to see in this picture, but that's the same meter pole and can. We paint those all the time. So that's just one of those little things. Even if we hadn't replaced all the siding, we were going to we were going to paint that meter can. And sometimes these panels, we just paint those also. We just paint those also if they're all rusted and corroded. All right. So on the inside, the interior.
Brant, did I hear right that you used that high temp black paint around the windows?
That's what he used, I believe. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Like exterior high gloss. You know, I did say it was a high temp paint, and I believe that's what he said. No, that's what he said he used. Yep,
Yeah.
high temp gloss paint. If you know what, now that you mention that, I'm gonna see if I did a close up. I don't think I did a close up on the windows.
I think you mentioned it when you were in the backyard, pointed at the window that's off the master. Is where you said it.
I was thinking it may have been in a follow up. They really stood out to me in a follow up visit that we had. But if y'all can see that, I know it's not really visible, but they were just a really faded brown. They had multiple holes in them, like they used to have, like solar screens or something that they just drilled into the frame. But take my word, they were looking pretty nasty. So you look at that, you know, that faded, worn metal. I don't think they have any close-up pictures in the back. Well, there's one, you know, to like just a nice, clean black look. You know, I mean, they actually, and I wasn't just me saying, I was like, man, the windows looked good. And I was like, man, these windows, like, they actually look really good. So that was just something off the cuff, you know, that we don't do that a lot, but we've done it on occasion, and it worked out pretty good here. All right, of course, y'all remember the, you know, the tile. We were going to keep some at the entry, and then, you know, after further inspection, there were some cracks and things like that. So we ended up removing it and just doing everything tile except for the bedrooms. So the beam, let's talk about the beam. It's just some of the little attention to details really help. You can't see it in this picture, but painting that beam an accent color or whatever really helps. I don't know why we replaced this fan, to be quite honest. Do you remember, Brian?
No, I don't remember.
I don't know if it didn't work or what, or if that was another screw up. We had a couple of screw ups on this project. That's there. There we go. There's a good picture. We had a couple of mess ups, forgetting, failing to note that we needed to run electricity for the master bedroom ceiling fan. We had one of my assistants communicated to the granite company to install new granite in the hall bathroom, which was not a big deal. I mean, these are very like minor mistakes, and these are mistakes that can, you know, the question is, can you avoid them? Yeah, you can. Okay, that was new granite there, but this is what I've discovered with, you know, real estate investing and construction is it's a very hard business to scale, to do a high volume. You kind of almost have to choose, like, if you want to be that perfectionist and have super, you know, attention to detail, it's hard. It's hard to succeed in this business, to be quite honest, with that mindset, because there's so many moving parts, and profitability on a lot of deals is so slim. It's really hard. So you got to find that balance of letting some things go, and making quick decisions, and knowing that, hey, there's going to be some mistakes that are made. Like looks like we may have replaced a ceiling fan we didn't need to replace. We definitely replaced the countertop that we didn't need to replace because the other one was fine. And we should have spent some more money in the master bedroom that we didn't do. So, you know, as you scale and do more construction, you've got more people involved, more moving parts. You just got to let some of this stuff go. Like yesterday, I was dealing with a $7,000 mistake that a survey company made that we're working on holding them. They've admitted fault, but whenever your builder frames out, begins putting in piers and framing out a slab for a new construction home, that's kind of a problem, especially whenever your framer tells you, well, this is $7,000 for me to fix it, and they did what they were supposed to do. That's kind of a problem. Okay, so, but I digress. So here we move on to the kitchen. You know, we are not a big fan of replacing cabinets. Majority of the time, we just like to keep the cabinets that are there because minimum effective dose, it works. So that's what we did here. We, of course, updated the flooring, the very light paint color, like we just use the same colors over and over and over because they work, they look well, or they work well, they look great. That's level 1 granite in the kitchen that you see. This is probably a fancier light than we usually use. It was a leftover one, like that we end up not using on other projects. That's why we did it. What else? We go white subway backsplash tile in a majority of our flips just because it still works. Whenever that stops to be popular or ceases being popular, then we'll use whatever's popular and just do it over and over again. I like to put stainless steel appliances, even though it's cheap, basic stainless, in pretty much every deal that I do. It's just one of those things where if you can go, if y'all remember, there was a really nice white stove here. You know, a nice top of the line white or black stove just doesn't have the same appeal to a buyer as a stainless, especially at this price point. So that's what we do. Let's take a step back and look at the fireplace. What do y'all think about the fireplace and what we did there? If you recall,
I think it looks a whole lot better. I don't think the rock would have been as attractive.
Yeah, no, not at all. And it also, does this look uneven to y'all? Like it looks wider on the left than the right? Or am I just crazy?
No, it does look a little bit wider.
Like this piece, this here looks symmetrical. This definitely looks longer on that side. Dude, they screwed up. Oh well, this is, you know, I used to spend a lot of time, you know, getting on the contractors for stuff. But at the end of the day, you know, it doesn't matter if it doesn't matter. And I'll, you know, let you know we already have an offer in my inbox. I'll go over it in a minute. So I guess the market's saying it doesn't matter, but sometimes screw ups matter. And this one, I never caught it until literally right now. Am I going to send him back there to fix it? No. If my you know, buyer like notes that or wants it done, I will, and that will be a warranty issue. But I used to spend probably more time than I should have, you know, getting onto contractors for stuff. And then I kind of realized whenever I settled into the affordable housing market, that some things, they're not that important, you know, as say like, you know, a $500,000 home opposed to a $150,000 home. It's just not practical. And so in exchange for being less picky, you know, like my painters, for example, we pay them more whenever we do higher end homes that we don't do a lot of, but we will pay them a higher budget, a higher, you know, we'll pay them more because we're expecting higher quality. That being said, this is just a screw up. I don't know why this happened. Now I'll probably make some jokes with my tile guy and rib him a little bit. He's absolutely should have done it the right way. But my point on this is, 18 inches or whatever this is, 18, 24 inches into a small living room, that makes a big deal. So, I think that that was a good decision. Here's the kitchen. Another thing is the garage. So yeah, we fix like busted door jams. We always fix those. That does not give anybody a warm fuzzy feeling seeing a busted door jam. Think of someone breaking in or who knows what. So the garage, not a place we want to spend a lot of money. Let's see if we got a picture of it. I thought there was a picture of it. Well, I apologize, guys. I thought I had a picture of the garage. I know I saw one. It may have been come from my painter or something like that. Oh, there we go. Now look at that. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I spend a lot of time in my garage. How about you guys?
Yeah, sometimes.
I spend a lot, I love it being in my garage. Like I was making a little a theater seat riser yesterday. Just I like to work on stuff, and we have like a little mini gym. So my garage is just like maybe my favorite place of the house. It's my garage. And so I did the same thing, painting the walls, painting the slab. So to me that it doesn't matter, it doesn't add value, anything like that, but it helps to sell a house, in my opinion. Okay, so we ended up having to replace all the doors with 6-panel doors because we could not match or find that wood grain that was there, even anything close to it. So it's just a handful of doors. I think the whole house only had like 8 doors or something like that. We did keep that ceiling fan, so that was good. And we all know how the bathroom turned out. So this is the final product, and then let's get into, we're going to get into the offer and some numbers and comps and kind of where we came at on the pricing. Now, I don't have a final budget. That's the only thing I won't have for you guys because all the dust hasn't settled, meaning we haven't paid all the contractors and everything like that yet. So that is the, let me see here. What do I want to go over next? Let's go over the comps. Let me see here. Oleander. Catherine sent me comps. That's the offer. Close your eyes, everybody. Close your eyes. I don't even know if I have them in my email. Let me see here. Well, I don't have the comps, so we're just going to run some comps. Let's run comps. That'll be a little bit more educational anyways. So let's pull up the old MLS here. I was actually contemplating a little bit. What's the address of Oleander? 504. I was contemplating, where you could even have justified going up a little bit higher in the sales price. But let's see what we have here. This is pulling back 6 months, 180 days. I like to go just, my habit, I guess is what it is I like to pull the map thing first and kind of get a visual what's going on in that market. And then ideally I want to pull from the same subdivision. So here's one right down the street, literally right down the street. So we're going to find the subdivision, right? It's this Woodland Park, Section 2, Lake Jack. Let's see what we come up with that. Sometimes you have to reduce it down so the agent entered it wrong or something like that. So I can pull this out and feel safe, like, all right, I suspect that I can pull from another section and still be fine. But let's just see what we have here. Let's see what data that we have here, if it's useful. Let's pull up our square footage again. Oleander is 1,400 square feet. I thought it was bigger than that. And so basically, let's sort by square footage. So what do we have here? So we've got a 180 that's 1,300 square foot, but it has not sold. And it is, looks like lipstick on a pig. Looks like lipstick. Nothing fancy, just kind of whatever. They had some decent things, but not a lot of an overall wow factor here. So we've got a 174, we've got a 179. I'm really looking for stuff that helps me justify my price. So I'm going to hop over to this guy here. That's a 210. That's a 210, and it's outdated. So this is what I like to see. Like, all right, this one sold for 210, and it needs a lot of work. It is bigger in square footage. I get that. It's 109 per square foot, but I like to see that. I like to see, so this one's here is 206, 1791. And is not that nice. It's clean, it's functional, but it's not a rehab. It's not all updated. It's partially done, but it's not fully done. So that also are things I like to see. Now, Catherine sent me a comp. Maybe this is it. 15. All right, here we go. 1,500 square foot, 209, 4 days on the market. This one is probably pretty nice. So here we go. Nice hardwood floors, good painting. This is a resident-owned property. Ours is a little bit more ideal. Now look at this. This is, it's clean, but it's not, anything really incredibly nice. And so what does that tell me? Okay, this is kind of outdated tile. It's nothing that great. The flooring's great. I think it's got this blue bathroom. Nothing wonderful. Nothing like, there's no pool. There's nothing like that I can't compete with. It's not that great. So this one was one that really drew my eye, right? 4 days on the market, 209. So the only, difference I think with this house was, the solid brick. It was just, I don't know, like almost maybe I should have priced it higher. What do you guys think? We ended up pricing at 199, by the way.
Mm.
Here's the listing. Basically to 199, 788.
Mm.
And I'll tell you why I did that. So I'll just tell you guys, I've heard me talk about this before, but it's really best product, best price. Another thing, so let's see here. No, this one's sold. I couldn't remember if this was option pending or not, because sometimes the final sales price doesn't show up until everything is done and settled and things like that. So they were giving away, an extra 100 square feet. So, that could satisfy 10K or something like that. But we settled at $199,788. Pretty much never go wrong with best product, best price. Really, that's it. 209. I think maybe we could have got it, but for our house, when we drove over through that area, there's a couple different sections, and a couple of sections were just marginally nicer than the others, and ours was kind of a step down. Was the feeling and the overall look and feel of our little section. So that's really the reason why. Were you going to say something a minute ago?
I was just saying yours. That's all. You had kind of said you were pricing it to sell basically. So best price, so that's good. No, that's all I was saying.
Yeah. Best product, best price. So I was looking at, let's see, when we started this project, I think we closed on the 13th from something else I saw. We've got a little tracker spreadsheet that we use, by the way, that we put the start date, we put the end date. It's just a little basic spreadsheet formula. So the day that we started the project was is 40 days. I think that we closed this property on the 13th. I'm going to get an official date for you guys. Yep, final signed HUD. This was where's my date? 5/13 is the day that we funded. So if we use that date, but we didn't start right away, that's the point. I was like, hey, it's been a week. But worst case scenario, 5/13/20 to today, for basically when we went on the market yesterday, was basically from day of closing, rehab, 30-something thousand dollars of construction, 42 days on the market. We didn't start until 5/20. So if you plug in 5/20, that puts us at 35 days. That's really good. And if y'all remember through some of the rehab training, I talk about you should be able to do approximately $1,000 of construction a day. Okay, $1,000 worth of construction a day. And, guys are hopefully working 5 to 6 days a week, and you have some delays, maybe with like a material holdup or inclement weather, whatnot. But that being said, we're able to execute $30-something thousand in rehab. Our budget was $33,424. I don't know what the final number is going to be. I don't, other than the driveway, I don't recall a whole lot of other, change orders. We did, did the hall bath cabinet and the ceiling fan maybe in the living room and the interior doors. But other than that, nothing too significant. So here we are. Let's see here, $199,788. We have an offer for $192 that we are not accepting. Let's see here. Where is it? Okay, so we have an offer here for $192. I don't believe we're accepting this offer. So why are we not going to accept this offer, guys? Any ideas? At least I don't think we're going to accept the offer. So a couple of things, okay? So when I get a contract, I really just want to, I'll quickly scan them. Catherine reviews them obviously more in depth than I do. But obviously I look at the sales price. Okay. Sales price is a big thing. And then I want to look at seller concessions. I mean, you can glance through and look at everything. I want to know how quickly that they're going to close. I guess some other little things. I want to know how much money that they're putting down. That's good to know as well. Usually if I have two offers that are the same or equal, whoever puts the biggest down payment is typically going to get the home. That's not always the case, but I want to know if there are any other concessions that I have to make. The home warranty for $550 is pretty typical. Here's my closing date, which is approximately 30 days or so, which is typical. It's not a cash offer. But here's really what I want to see in section 12. This is something that you want to look for, and newbie investors don't always look for this, are seller concessions, contributions for the buyer. So they want us to contribute $5,760 basically to help them buy this home. So that what that essentially does is drop this to a 187, really a 186 offer when you add that plus the home warranty. So that puts us 186. That's no bueno. We can play around with that number, and just so we see. But the other reason we are not likely to accept it is because we have a full price offer coming in, and we just haven't received it yet. So, and I should also really say that we're looking for ideally a conventional loan. We do not want FHA loan at this point in time because of the 90-day anti-flip rule, where we can't even sell the house for 90 days. And because this was such a quick turnaround, we need a conventional buyer, because we'll be able to show, hey, Mr. and Miss Appraiser, here's all the repairs that we did. Here's how we justify our value, and the quick turnaround of buying the house for $107 and selling it for $199. Quick thing to point out too, y'all have probably heard me say this a lot, is that, let's see here, this is 1404. I think that's what I said. 1404. So a couple of things is, you hear me say this a lot. Typically we buy houses at about half of what their worth is, their after repaired value. So this was $199. We were fighting to get this thing at 99, or 100,000. I'd have to confirm that with Alex, but we're trying to get it for 100, right? That's where we really wanted to be at in this deal. And finally, they were 107, take it or leave it, and we took it. So we knew this was a marginal deal. So that's one teaching point, though, is, I get it when you're newer, or you're kind of on a drought, you're wanting to make twist the numbers and make some deal. It's not a deal. This is the numbers that we use, and it's so typical that we're buying houses about 50% of what we're going to sell them for, especially in this price range. Now, if the rehab was significantly less, yeah, we could have paid a little bit more, but it's typically not. Like a $30-something rehab is just kind of par for the course in today's market. That cost per square foot is about $24 per square foot. So that is higher than I expect. And so I'm trying to think about where that, I think part of that, no, it's not. this is probably about exactly where it needs to be, because if y'all remember the way that we analyze rehab a lot of times is I talked to y'all about on these types of homes, these cookie cutter types of homes, we're usually in the $15 to $20 per square foot range for our rehab plus major items. So on this one, that's where we're at, probably $18 to $19 per square foot plus $5,000 for a brand new AC system. So that number, is congruent with what we teach and preach. We did borrow money at 10% on this. We did pay 1 point, 6%. I can tweak that a little bit because 3% is coming back to me as a listing agent. So, survey says if we can close this next month in this range, we are sitting in about a 20-something K deal, which is not too bad for, what did we say, 40 days worth of quote unquote work. What else? So what are some other teaching points here? This deal was brought to us from a cold caller, from a VA in the Philippines, cold calling. Okay, that's number one. Number two, it was bought sight unseen for me. I didn't see it. I was able to utilize, leverage other people's time and leverage technology through video, through pictures, things like that. Someone else going to see the house, helping negotiate the deal for our company. The first time I saw this house was the first time y'all saw me see this house through this series and when we went down there. And since this time, let's see, I think I've been there 4 times to view the house. And honestly, guys, I did this for the case study, for the training purposes. This house was quite a ways away. And so as we wrap up this particular case study, I'll keep y'all updated on, the contract and the inspection report. Actually, we'll do another follow-up about, handling the inspection report and negotiating the contract and the price that we settle on. But I think the thing I want to talk about now, or drive home to you guys as we wrap up, is anyone can do this, right? So this is not rocket science. Trust me, it's not. It's like anyone can do this. I think that it's a matter of executing the fundamentals, right? It's a matter of executing the fundamentals, generating deal flow, knowing how to analyze that deal, knowing how to estimate those repairs, knowing how to raise the capital, manage the contractors. Hopefully, just watching this, I hope it encourages some of you guys to take more action. I know you're all taking action, but take even more action to believe that, hey, I can do this. Like you've just witnessed it, in 30, 40 days of all this happening right now. So that is the Oleander case study. Does anybody, y'all have any questions, feedback, takeaways, anything you want to share?
Well, just that I'm probably going to go back and look at some of the videos, just because I do it. It's a lot of teaching moments. You cover a lot of stuff, to be honest, in these videos, and without seeing it, you may not be able to really grasp it. Videos, pictures, and examples don't lie. So I thought it was good.
Yeah, well, thank you. Yeah, and I know I talk fast, and some things I may just be talking about, and I may not even realize it's a teaching point for some. Yeah, so feel free to hit me up with any other questions you come up through it. But that's why, even looking at this Mesa, this is what we use. I know there's all these tricked out spreadsheets. I was looking at one I was scrolling through Facebook recently, and there was one that was called like Housefolio, and it was, you know, getting into all these. Basically, it was a deal analyzer. It's like helping you analyze all these deals. And it's like the average deal, you know, it takes like 30 minutes to analyze and all that kind of stuff, which I don't disagree. But I would say the average deal for me takes about 30 seconds because I'll look at some pictures really quick, get a real quick ballpark on what the ARV is going to be. And granted, I grabbed the ARV from an acquisitions guy. He'll just give it to me. But if I was going to run comps on them, it might take a little bit longer. But I plug stuff into the Mesa, you know, and I look primarily here. If it's going to work as a flip, then I know I can play with that and go further if I'm going to do something else with it as well. But this is what we do. This is you know, this is the finished product, and you know, from start to finish. I know there's a few other things to go over. We haven't crossed the finish line, and you know, wire hasn't hit our account as of yet. So there's still work to do with this deal, but you know, the heavy lifting's done. The heavy lifting's done, and we're not. I guess one last teaching point is after you get to this point when you may think you're done, you're not really done. You still have to mow the yard. You still have to routine maintenance. You still have to, you know, hurricanes come, like things happen. We've got another deal that our closing got delayed. The lender came back with some other stuff they need from HUD. And so we've got to do a couple of other repairs. That just, like, we've dealt with that in the last few days. So, I mean, there's always going to be stuff that you deal with. But you need to, like, if you have houses, let's say, for example, this house is sitting on the market and it's not getting showings, it's not getting contracts and things like that. You got to take care of that yard. You need to get somebody in there to kind of do a wipe down to clean up dead bugs and little stuff like that. Someone just told us that we have mildew in one of our houses, I think because the AC wasn't working and we've getting all this rain. So there's other little things and teaching moments that I can share as we continue to move forward over the next, well, it could be 30 days or so till we close. But yeah, there's always something with the flip project. But yeah, hopefully this helped you all who watched it live or watching whatever replay see the whole process from start to finish.